What is Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, and is it any good? Welcome mates, I'm Bloodthirsty Lord, but you can call me Lordy, and that is the topic or the questions for today that we're going to discuss within this video. Pretty much doing like a somewhat of a breakdown of the multiplayer scheme of Mass Effect Andromeda, and talk about it and see how good it actually is, because personally I think it's going to be really great. The hype leading up to it is pretty hyped, obviously because of Mass Effect Andromeda being quite a good game on its solo campaign status, followed by the multiplayer aspect being great as well. It's like a perfect game, and we're going to talk about the multiplayer side and go through every bit of information that was released not long ago, and give our own thoughts and opinions on it, and see what they did compared to the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer experience. And obviously mates, I'm planning to get the game on March 21st, and that's a couple of days away. Until then, we got a lot of information to discuss in this video, very juicy information. But mates, before we get into this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button to keep up to date with the greatest and latest gaming content that we do produce on this channel. As always, expected here first, so without further ado, let's get straight into this. And if you clicked on this video just to find out the other component of the game, see if it's any good, the first component being the solo and the campaign, obviously that's going to have a lot of time spent on it and be a high standard part of the actual experience of Mass Effect Andromeda, so that's going to be really fun, guaranteed. But with the Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, it's kind of interesting because majority of people don't know what it could possibly be until recently when we got more information and actual gameplay footage of the actual multiplayer experience for Mass Effect Andromeda, which you'll be seeing on your screen in the background. And within this gameplay, there's a lot of aspects being shown, and you can compare it back to Mass Effect 3 multiplayer experience. It's pretty much the exact same thing, but has been improved by a lot in any way possible. So the Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer consists of a co-op experience. So 2 to 4 players going to one map chosen from 4 other maps in total. So pretty much there's like 4 maps you can play on, and you choose whatever map you want to play, or it can be randomly chosen depending on the situation you're in. Say if you're by yourself, or there's a voting system, I don't know yet, but pretty much you go into one of those maps and you try your best to survive as long as possible until you get the objective done within that actual map. So pretty much it's like the game mode from Gears of War Horde, but with an objective at the end of it, obviously, or between it, you have to try and achieve in order to win that map and succeed. As you progress from the first round into future rounds, the creatures or the enemies that you verse will get harder and become smarter, and obviously try and do other things towards your comp to try and destroy you, like flank you, snipe you from long range, and there'll be more interesting ideas depending on the characters or enemies that you are versing. But your allies can use their benefits of having special abilities, having different types of armor and weapons to destroy that and hopefully make it an easy experience trying to push through those waves as a squad of 2 to 4 players. Pretty much applying the idea of a PvE experience on the multiplayer side of Mass Effect Andromeda instead of being a PvP, which is PvP is when you verse other people, real people, as you're playing, like say for a game like Call of Duty, you're playing as your character and you're versing someone else on the other team. But when you play Call of Duty Zombies, you're versing AIs. And that is what is happening here with Mass Effect Andromeda. And usually I am against the games that just provide a PvE experience without providing a PvP. But for some reason, I enjoy the PvE experience within Mass Effect Andromeda or Mass Effect 3. When I touched it there first, it was such an amazing experience. I enjoyed it, and seeing it here once again obviously gets me hyped and makes me interested in the components they will bring into Mass Effect Andromeda. Obviously doing a lot more than Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Because you mates know I'm very competitive when it comes to multiplayer games. I enjoy that aspect of multiplayer, just manipulating, outplaying other real people and making them feel like they're complete utter trash when you do like an amazing combo against them in like MOBAs or in other first-person shooters. And I always found it interesting how the Mass Effect developers go towards this direction of the game being a PvE experience. And I think one of the reasons why they do this, and pretty much is a good benefit, is to make less toxicity within the community. Which makes sense because you're not versing other people, you're just versing AIs, and pretty much you're working together, so there's no need for you guys to pretty much argue or talk trash to against each other. There are 25 play kits you can choose from the very start of level 1 multiplayer on Mass Effect Andromeda, and you can choose whatever fits your playstyle, so choose wisely. And the weapons that you use in multiplayer are pretty much the exact same of single player, so those weapons will fall into the categories of Milky Way, Helios Cluster, and Remnant Technology. Sorry if I pronounced any of that wrong. My bad. And depending on the technology of the weapon that you've chosen, you'll gain certain advantages against certain enemies. So keep that into consideration when choosing your weapon types or loadouts within multiplayer. 40 weapons will be released on the full release of the game in multiplayer. Then after the upcoming months, I'm guessing if you purchase a season pass or something like that, there'll be more DLC weapons being dropped into the game. So that's pretty sick. So there'll be ongoing currents of weapons being dropped, and they obviously will be used on all characters. There's no class restrictions. And no matter what weapon used within within Mass Effect Andromeda's multiplayer, in the battlefield, you're able to change it or modify it in your own specific way. And depending on what you choose from to change or modify on your weapons, like different types of ammunition, or changing little parts of your weapon to give you different types of advantages through XP, damage, and all of those interesting stats on your weapons. All in all, you're gaining some benefits by changing your weapons. And the character that you choose while playing multiplayer obviously can be changed at any time, but they do fall into different roles. One can be more of a bruiser type, one can be more stealth type, more damage type. Depending on the character you've chosen, you're going to gain certain advantages that will fit your playstyle or just fit someone else's playstyle. They obviously will play better than you maybe, but that doesn't matter. At least you're picking something that can work with the comp or with your squad in this case to help you succeed and destroy the objective or win the objective and pretty much complete the game with the easy win. But at the same time, your enemies will be trying to defeat you in any way possible, so make sure you're always moving around as a squad to destroy your obstacles, aka the enemies, so you can go push forward until you complete the objective for that round or the objective for the whole match. A majority of the time, the character you've chosen will have a shield mechanic, and when that shield is depleted, you want to try to be undercover or take cover so you can wait for your shields to regenerate before engaging the next fight. And if you do come up against a strong target or a strong enemy unit, make sure to combo kill that enemy, pretty much using your biotics and followed by your team members' biotics, aka abilities, against that one enemy to instantly delete them off the face of that planet. And if any of your teammates do become in fallen state, you're able to revive them at any time. It's like any other co-op experience game. When they fall, you still have the chance of reviving them before they actually die out or bleed out within that match. But at the same time, as you're doing a good deed, you could be very vulnerable to enemy targets destroying you, so make sure to play it smart. And you still have that good dash ability or the dash mechanic within this game, which you can use to go also undercover or behind cover before you go to your next target and try and fight them. Also, the game will have not 4 maps, but 5 maps in the multiplayer full game release, which are Sandstorm, Firebase Zero, Firebase Icebreaker, Firebase Magma, and Firebase Derelict, if that's how you pronounce it. Those are the maps you will be playing on once you enter the Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, and each map will be diverse and have some type of different environment status. Obviously Ice, Magma, Sandstorm, they all have these different elements, and it's really fun just to see them while facing off against these enemies and trying to complete those objectives to finish off that match. And once you complete the match, depending on your achievements on that actual match, you get rewarded with more XP and obviously credits, which you can use in-game to get certain advantages, like upgrading your skill tree, which are your biotics in your, aka your abilities that you can use on each character. You can change that, or even use your credits to purchase other stuff, which will help you bring more new strategies into the game when playing the Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer against those enemies that are going to be in your way constantly. And also there's the idea of strike teams being implemented in this actual game for the Mass Effect multiplayer, and once you complete a strike team mission, aka Apex mission, whatever they're trying to call it, once you complete that, you get certain rewards which you can use in the single player experience. And that is great. You can play this game or this game time by yourself with some AIs in the Apex mission, or you can go play with multiplayer and pretty much get like a cool experience when trying to complete that Apex mission or that strike team mission, and then you'll be rewarded in the single player for doing things in the multiplayer. And you can also take different supplies depending on the mission to obviously defeat that objective quicker and defeat those enemies quicker. They're obviously going to give you some advantages. If you don't have those type of supplies with you in that mission, you'll be at a disadvantage straight away, even though you still have a possibility of actually completing that mission. And at the end of the day, with these type of games, usually with the co-op experience games, you have to work together. If you're not working together, communicating between each other through voice chat or even chat system through keyboard or text, if you're not doing that, it becomes hard to win games. But if you do that, there's a great chance of you winning games quicker, because you can tell your mates they're going to try and combo kill this target, and obviously they can come help you and use that combo or their biotics or abilities to destroy that target as quick as possible. Those shoutouts or callouts within games can help so much, and that's the exact same thing that happens with other PvP games like Overwatch, when everyone wants to jump one enemy and destroy it like a Mercy before she reses, aka use her ultimate resurrection. If you're able to instantly delete her just because of team chat and work together to obviously destroy that one target, it becomes so great for you because everything becomes one-sided and you have the great advantage within that fight or engagement. The exact same thing here. And honestly, mates, I'm hyped to get this game and I can't wait for it. I think it's releasing on March 21st or March 23rd. The dates keep changing in different states, so it's one of those, and I'm hoping I can get my hands on it as quick as possible to play some of that amazing Mass Effect experience so we can make more juicy videos in the future. But mates, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this video. What do you think about it? Do you think Mass Effect Andromeda will be a good multiplayer experience or a bad multiplayer experience? I want to know your thoughts. And obviously, in my eyes, I feel like it's going to be really enjoyable, but obviously the single player campaign side will overshadow that guaranteed, but either way, they're both great components to this game. So leave your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. So mates, if you did enjoy this video, show your support, smash that button like button. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video. If you guys want to see more Mass Effect Andromeda gaming content or gaming content in general on my channel, all you have to do is share this with your friends and hit the subscribe button to become a mate today. And that is all for this video. With time to go, but don't you worry, we're back very soon. Hey to that, boys, because I ain't seen nothing yet. Mates, I am too hyped for this game. Once I get it, I'm going to try to get the best armor in the multiplayer and just show it off like crazy, mates.
That it feels right.